G'day, I'm Mrs. Dow, and welcome to Mrs. Dow's Art Room. Here's today's lesson. Street art style lettering. First, write down the word on a scrap of paper that you intend to put on your page. Then figure out how many letters you have. This word's got 6, so I can split it in half and have 3 on each side of the middle. Once you've figured that out, we can split up our page so that we have even spacing or enough room for all of our letters. If you just start writing, you might end up too close to the end of the page or too far away from one side. So I'm drawing 6 boxes, so I have 1 for each, and I split my page in the middle first. Drawing really lightly with your grey lead is good for erasing later. Now what I'm going to do is write each letter in block letters or capitals across the page. They can be at different levels because it makes it look a bit more dynamic and interesting. Once I'm done with those letters, I'm going to add a little line at the end of each of my letters, just so when I'm doing the next part, I've got something to go around. So now what I do is bubble. These bubbles, I start at the beginning, and I'm making sure the bubble goes around each of these straight lines in a curve to make space around the letters. Each letter is going to be slightly sitting behind the one before it. We want them nice and curved so that they fill up as much of the page as possible. I'll speed up the process and you can have a go at yours. Pause the video whenever you need to if you want to wait or catch up. Once you've finished drawing all of your bubbles around your letters, you can erase the frame and inside. Then we'll trace around with a fine liner and erase the rest of our grey lead lines. This second option is a little more square. You do the same thing and figure out how many letters you've got, then draw a box or a shape in your page for where you want your word to go, and split your page up so you have enough space for each letter. Again, you're going to write each letter in capital across your page. This time I've chosen to do them at a similar level, but I curved the whole thing. I'm again adding those little lines at the end so that I can make boxes around them later and just make them look a bit more interesting. So this time, instead of a curved line, I'm doing a square edge and lots of angles, making each of these letters a lot thicker. So we don't want this box we're drawing around to touch any of our original letters, but each letter that we draw around is going to sit behind the one in front of it. Creates a bit more of a 3D effect. I'll speed up the rest, but you can pause it if you need to. Again, once you've finished writing your block letters, you can erase inside and the framework around and then trace over your outline with a marker. For this one, I might also add an extra frame around the whole thing. It'll make it a bit more interesting when we paint later. So all you do is draw one continuous line that goes around each of the letters with a similar amount of space, and we'll just trace the shape that those letters make as best we can. When you finish tracing around with your grey lead, you can go over that line with a fine liner, and don't forget to erase all of your grey lead lines before colouring. Thank you, my amazing art students.